Statistically, the most engaged community happens to be Kenya. If you're looking for social media, not validation, but success, in terms of metrics like that, views, it's going to be Kenya. You can't make it in this economy in Kenya if you're giving guys substandard service, you're not paying people. I feel like the best balance that one could strike is living in Uganda half the year, and then you live half the year in Kenya, because value for money doesn't go to Kenya.
What's good, Kenya and Uganda? We are in Nairobi, Kenya for the first official episode of Kenya and Uganda in Nairobi. And I'm your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. I have a very talented cast with me today. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Raymond Kahuma, YouTuber extraordinaire, okay, in Uganda. Ugandan, and I'm in Kenya right now, having the time of my life, making content.
Did you say extraordinaire? Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, a YouTuber.
It's the same thing. Chaxi, I'm a podcaster from Nairobi. Check out my podcast. It's called Mic Check Podcast, like a bank check. And we're dope.
Because he's rich.
Very
dope. Because he has money.
Okay, it's your girl, Laleti. I'm from Kenya. I have a podcast. It's called Incredibly Raw. Check it out. Yeah.
I want to give a big shout out to Chaxi for introducing us to this place, helping us set this podcast up today. And he's just been amazing. I only met him maybe 12 hours ago. I don't know. It's been crazy. But yeah, I mean, you're actually better than him. And I've been knowing him a long time. And you're worth more than knowing this guy.
He's been editing since he came to Nairobi.
Oh, but don't mind this guy. He's just a hater. That's how he is, bro.
Oh my God.
So let me kind of talk about this. There's a podcast that went sort of viral on TikTok with the clips with Yaga, and it was called "Why I'm Leaving Uganda to Move to Kenya." And it's interesting because you actually shared the clip, right?
I shared a bunch of clips.
This is content that we are putting out for the people in the diaspora, you get? Like the African Americans who have a feeling of coming back home.
Yes.
So you wouldn't wish somebody to leave a place that everybody wants to go to, again come to a place that is worse than some other places, you get?
Okay.
So that is why I would say if you want to start your life in Africa, let's say like in East Africa, and you want to still have the feeling of the West, start with Kenya. And then you can come to Uganda.
Okay.
Because it's going to be hard for you coming to Uganda and then boom, things are just upside down. And then by the time you realize Kenya is way better than Uganda, you start regretting spending your time in Uganda and moving to Kenya. I've told you several times.
She told me to get out of here and come to Kenya. You shared that one in particular. And I've noticed that being in this market, especially for not even like most of our audience that repatriate or want to move back to Africa and they're picking this place, but in this particular industry that we're in, I'm seeing your videos are blowing up. You're being more appreciated here. You know what I mean? In comparisons to, where we're at. So I just want to know from you, why is Kenya, do you think that it is a better opportunity to do business here than in Uganda?
Okay, that's a loaded question. Number one, shout out Kenya. Okay, shout out Kenya. I had my first YouTube video with 100K views. That's insane, man. So shout out, because I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, and that's the first video I was like, this video took off on YouTube. YouTube pushed that video. So shout out Kenya. And yeah, that's a loaded question, because seeing as we do all of us here do social media, right?
Yeah.
The metric for our success is views and engagement, right? And it so happens that the most switched on, statistically, the most engaged community happens to be Kenya. They have fast access to internet. If you're looking for social media, not validation, but success, in terms of metrics like that, views, it's gonna be Kenya. They have access to internet, super fast, very, very, they're very, I don't know, it's like they're very switched on. Anything happens, they'll be on it, they'll be sharing it on YouTube, they'll have opinions even about their governments, which most African countries, by the way, a lot of people, this is something I was very surprised with when I came to Kenya. These guys know their rights. Yeah. You're not gonna take them for an idiot. No. And that's something that most African countries wouldn't know until you came here. The second you come to Kenya, you just feel the difference, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Uganda, but I'm going in September. So what is Uganda like? Because
we can host you if you want to.
Let's do it, bro. I'd love to create some content as well in Uganda. Absolutely. Okay. Cool.
How long are you staying for?
I'm not sure yet, but over a week for sure.
Obviously come for the party.
Over a week for sure.
you're saying how is Uganda for what?
Like generally, because I mean, we live here,
Yeah.
but we feel like things could be way better.
Sure.
But it's very different from his experience because he feels like he's arrived.
He's actually in Dubai.
Can I maybe ask you something?
Yeah.
Because you're in the industry and you do a lot in the industry outside of just podcasting.
Yeah.
What opportunities have you seen in the last 5 years for just being in this particular business as a podcaster?
Mainly would be because there's many players now, especially getting into this space, which we were discussing this yesterday. I think the more the merrier. It's nicer because a sort of industry begins to shape up. So it's more of if you considered it like a product, right?
Right.
Say you started selling water and you're only one brand that sells water. But then when you have 10 other brands that sell water, what happens is that category of water grows. It becomes like a proper thing.
Sure.
So we have more players getting into podcasting, and even the commercial aspect of it is beginning to make sense. Like brands are beginning to see that this is a real thing that they can get into.
Yeah.
But then when it's just one person doing it, and then they probably still don't understand what the hell is this podcasting thing. But then when there's more people, then you're able to do more. So you see people are doing live shows that are selling out.
Okay.
Guys are getting brand endorsement deals. Guys have subscription-based models. Guys have patrons, and guys are paying for that. So that is something that wasn't there 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was doing a different podcast with a friend of mine.
Sure.
We were only like 2 podcasts, like in the whole country.
How many are there now?
People didn't even understand what podcasting is, bro. You'd say you do a podcast, and they'll be like, "What is that?"
Like, do you make money from that? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Just talking?
They're like, okay.
Yeah.
But now, and also a lot of the urban youth are less engaged with mainstream media. So podcast is like the new media here.
Okay.
Because I mean, when am I in the house to watch TV or listen to radio?
Yeah.
Right.
But I can listen
phone.
to my best podcast along the day as I do whatever I'm doing if I'm moving around. So
And pause it.
So podcast is the new media, bro. Yeah.
Shout out.
Plus, also, I feel like in Kenya, it's based because I'm a Kenyan and I see things. Kenyans, they just entertain everything, especially the dumbest things in January. Kenyans, they like the unserious things, the crazy things, the unseen things. Like you can come and walk naked and then people are starting to follow you tomorrow. Like in Kenya, you just act stupid and you have followers tomorrow. Yeah, so you can tell true because you've been in the film industry. You know how it's going. Yeah.
But I haven't walked naked yet.
I know.
Yet.
Yeah, it's true. But we have like stuff like Embaramba. You know Embaramba? I mean, if we go to other countries, Embaramba they'll be like, what's this?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like in Uganda, do you really think Embaramba would make
What's
a hit?
Embaramba?
Like it's a
Embaramba.
guy who
Good
walks
question.
with female clothes. Yeah.
Embaramba, I also don't know what he does, but I think he makes music. But he's always
Embaramba's
trending.
a guy?
He's a guy.
He's always doing what?
He's always trending.
He
for the
always
wrong
wears
reasons.
like ladies' clothes and then he
Sometimes
dances.
he's just jumping. Up.
Yeah, and
We have
everyone
those in
likes
Uganda.
that.
Yeah, we have Sami Manini. We have.
How do you know those people?
Should I call you mister?
Like, do they create content?
So let me just ask more of a general question back to you, because you're in the industry here and it seems like guys are getting monetized. In Uganda, what I'm seeing from the people that I know, it's not happening as much. What I hear is like people promise things in the industry, not really delivering, not paying on time for certain people. Is that the culture? How is the culture in the entertainment business in Kenya? When people say they're going to do things, does it happen or is it?
So people, you mean generally like brands or
Just
just
also asking.
Yeah.
Brands. In average in the private
Individual,
sector.
but generally.
So the thing with brands here, and I think we've covered this. We covered this earlier on the podcast because I don't remember who exactly, but someone published a report on how corporates have been spending their advertising revenue.
Okay.
And we saw that they've significantly increased their advertising revenue on socials and significantly reduced the advertising revenue on mainstream media.
This is in Kenya.
Yeah, in Kenya. That already tells you, and even within just the community,
Sure.
brands here work a lot with influencers.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people who create content only on Instagram, bro. You'll never see them on YouTube. You'll never see them on any other platform.
Instagram.
Just
They
such a
just
big
have
deal
Instagram,
here.
and that's how they make their money. There's guys who are just big on Twitter. There's guys who are just making money off TikTok. So a lot of the brands here have multiple influencers.
Okay.
And so I think that's how I'd say maybe brands are plugging in. So they understand they need to reach audiences. So they would maybe probably, okay, we haven't worked with any yet, but we have conversations with some. For them, it's more of how do we they realize you have an audience, so how do we plug into that audience? Most of them are honestly just maybe like on Instagram and Twitter, not mostly on YouTube. Like long format content on YouTube is still a struggle to monetize.
The first week that I came here in Nairobi, I was talking to I was talking to someone who is a manager for content creators, like very big ones here. I was asking him, like, what do you think the trend is? Because in the US, basically the way I predict the future here is I just look at other countries, like the US, how they progress, right?
Yeah.
YouTube already took off that side. YouTube was number one that side, right? To make money. And then now, kids move to Instagram, and then from Instagram, they move to TikTok now. That's where it is, right?
Yeah.
But here, it's like we kind of skip that phase of you making money on YouTube, man. Like, really, who's making money on YouTube here? How many? Like, we skip that stage, but people are making money on TikTok. So what you said there, I was like, man, because I'm primarily a YouTuber. I don't know if we're ever gonna make money on YouTube, bro.
There's different ways to look at that because, like, for instance, when we were drafting like a quote for a client who'd reached out, I was like, damn. So they need a plugin on the show and on our social media. I was like, for the show on YouTube, I'm gonna charge more because that content is gonna sit there forever, bro. It's gonna sit there forever. I'm never gonna delete a full episode. You know what I mean? But then for Instagram, if we have like a 3-month contract, after the 3 months, I could decide to pull down those posts. You know what I mean? So there's no way I'm going to charge you the same for a plugin on the actual episode that's going to sit there for as long as you
But for me, I think I look at it differently because you could also still contractually be obligated to leave the ones on Instagram there. That might be in their contract.
How much would you pay me for that?
I mean, like, do you be taking down your Instagram posts? But for me, I look at it different. I guess they don't see it this way, but I think a YouTube plug is way more and I hate like where there's multiple ways to make money on YouTube. We're talking about brand deals because that's primarily the way to make money here in Africa. Because if you guys don't know, like you get paid on YouTube when people watch your videos. So that's called your CPM, right? Your RPM, your revenue per million views. So if 1,000 people watch your video, you'll make like $2, something like that, right? But in Africa here, our rates are so bad that if someone in Africa got 100,000 views, if I know from my channel, if I got 100,000 views, I'm making maybe like $100 at best.
Imagine,
right?
Bro.
I was talking to someone
you probably
2 days
can't
ago.
Even shoot one episode with $100.
$100. I was talking to someone 2 days ago who had a friend who posted a video in California, which got the same 100,000 views. He made $1,500. Which is like stark difference. You can literally make a living off of just posting. So that's why we're talking about brands as primarily like the way that...
So you would think that brands are better here. For those people in the diaspora, whoever else watching, brands are more, if you're in this business like we are, or maybe you're in marketing, brands are going to be better in Kenya than in Uganda as far as interacting even with the same brand, like the same company.
Like social media brands?
I mean, just... Let's say, for example, let's use Budweiser. Budweiser's not in Kenya, in Uganda, but on average, would you expect Budweiser to be a better representation in Kenya than in Uganda, for an example?
I think that if you have the same brand in Uganda and Kenya,
yes,
the truth is you are going to have a better difference here in Kenya, a better experience with them in Kenya here. And I think the reason why is, number one, every company is in Kenya. Every company you could think of, basically, Google, Microsoft, they're all here. There's really, really tough These guys' town, like their town area, is insane. In like the same kilometer squared is every office you could think of. The only person I haven't seen here is like Disney.
What is Uganda like, bro? Should I go? Should I still go?
Wait, yeah. We'll talk
I think
about
you should rethink going.
No. You should come.
It's a
Uganda's
very
lit.
nice place. It's just
Uganda's lit.
No, I'm pulling up for sure.
They make
You
you
guys-
feel like it's a small town. Like you when
No,
I
Uganda.
I find you there.
I think Uganda is slightly behind Kenya. That's what, in my honest opinion, is. I think a lot of the Kenyans I've talked to, like when I'm taking Ubers, they think it's like a big deal. But I think it's slightly behind. It's just that the capitalism here is way up. Like there is so much more ahead. That difference in specific.
It's always been a capitalist country. Shout out to Jacob. He was the only African leader at the time that really wanted capitalism, and it's.
And also, you guys had this president who, every time I take an Uber, like they always talk about him. Yes,
Kibaki more.
Yeah,
they want to cry when they're talking about this guy. They're like, man, like the reason we have all this stuff is we had this one guy.
Yeah,
he changed
Made a big
everything for like. I'm like, did he change that? They're like, yeah, bro. This guy was an economist, bro. Apparently, someone explained it to me like a few weeks ago. This guy was like an economist through and through. studied in my career, I don't know. Someone correct me in the comments. Studied like economics, everything. He was just the president that just came here. He's like, man, me, what I want to do here, I'm going to raise the economic standard of this place. Like, forget everything else.
He did a lot. He did a lot.
He did a lot. He brought like free education. Thanks to him.
And so to answer your question, the companies here just have to. It's not an option. You can't make it in this economy in Kenya if you're giving guys substandard service. You're not paying people. There's someone going there. Five other companies
that doesn't happen.
take.
I mean,
They would blast you, bro. Like if you didn't pay influencers here, they don't care, bro. They'd blast you because they have other deals and other people to work.
Oh, okay. So that's an
But
important
still,
point.
even if you blast them, they never care. I feel like these brands, sometimes they are corrupt, if I can say that.
Yeah.
Because I've had so many cases of, especially when they know that you're new to the industry, they take advantage a lot. In Kenya, that's what they do. Like they take advantage of you. So in short, in Kenya, what's the problem is that the rich will always be rich and the poor will always be poor. So you just have to do something different just to rise to the top.
No,
That's just
You
my
disagree?
experience.
No,
Okay, based on my experience.
Because now that's you saying I'm gonna be poor forever. I don't think so. I don't think so, bro.
Like
I feel like my situation is about to change.
You missed the part where I said you have to do something different. Like you
Okay.
have to think outside the box. That's why you find some people, this lady who cash crops in Nyandarua, this girl, she had to do
the
something
singer.
different. Yeah. So now she's a brand and everyone are booking her left, right, center.
What is the
But
point
if
that
you
you were
come
talking about?
correct and professional, you're going to be stuck there. Be honest. If you're not known, you have to do something extra for you to be, hey, I'm here.
I think you
Notice
just
me.
But what about
Yes.
the brand
I think-
perspective?
I think you just need numbers because there's a lot of people who have numbers for whatever reason.
So what do you think attract Kenyans so that they can give you those numbers?
Kenyans?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's many things.
Yes, many.
'Cause
Give me
good,
one.
good.
Like if you picked even 4 different personalities and just see how they rose to fame, all of them would be
Different.
different things.
Different.
Like you could literally pick 20 personalities from Kenya that rose to fame for different things.
Yeah.
Kenyans have a way of making light of every situation. So regardless of what is happening, Kenyans will have fun about it.
Even if
Whether
they were told
there's-
the world is ending tomorrow, they will laugh about
memes,
it. Yeah.
Twitter will just have fun about it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's very confusing because it could be something that is very serious, but
Yeah.
guys will have a light way of doing it.
Right.
So there's a lot of personalities that have come out of the situation.
Okay.
So maybe it was a tough time, something bad was happening in the country. There's a famous thing we call Githeri Media or Githeri Man, which just means you really didn't do much. You're just at the right place, right time.
At the right time.
And then maybe someone took a picture of you or a video of you, and then you just began trending.
Blew up.
But then the thing is, we have a lot of those people who've had that kind of fame or popularity and then didn't do anything about it. And then you forget about them tomorrow. Because someone else is going to be trending tomorrow.
Right.
But then we have those who actually took advantage of that and then just built an audience around it, built a brand around it, and then they became successful. Then they went on to do other things.
Let me ask you a question then. And it's good that we get a kind of an understanding of what's going on. But for those people that just like, they might not even be getting into the social media industry. You come in from Kampala and Nairobi. What is your everyday life like in Nairobi in comparisons to what your everyday life was in Kampala?
Number one, I'd say, again, going back to like capitalism, these guys are a bit more advanced, so they're a bit more technologically savvy. Technologically savvy. A big cultural shock that when I came here, I couldn't believe it, is everything's via M-Pesa. If your phone dies in Kenya, if you're out of the house and your phone dies, you might not be able to move anywhere, bro. Guys, some people don't accept cash. You can't pay for meals at some places with cash, right? So basically,
Cashless, yeah.
biggest difference I could see is, number one, every payment would go through your phone.
Yes.
Which I'm still getting used to up to now. Number two, things are a bit more accessible here. So, for example, the gym. I live in I don't know if I can say
You
where I
want to give
live.
the address?
Yeah, you live in a nice place.
Okay, yeah. Gyms here, like everyone lives in like a kilometer walk from the gym. Am I wrong by saying this? There is a gym everywhere.
You have access to many things.
And the gyms here, bro, you know this. The gyms here are not that expensive. I pay
a very good thing.
for a month, it's 5,000 Kenya shillings, which is basically like 150K. Like maybe 160,000 Uganda shillings. An equivalent
Whoa.
gym.
150K.
An equivalent. Don't do that, bro. Don't make it make fun of me.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Bro, the equivalent gym I go to in Uganda, in the difference is $125
Per month.
per month, which is basically
what I
like
pay.
That's like
No wonder why I'm still fat.
oh my that's like
Wow.
500,000. So things here are a bit more accessible for the same thing.
Yeah, and it's cheaper.
It's
what about
insane.
living? Even the neighborhoods here?
The neighborhoods here are a bit more. I compare this place to like New York, man.
It's
Like
posh.
yeah, it's
You've been
like
in New York before.
no, but when I look at it, I look at it in movies.
Oh my God, really?
I compare it to this, right? This guy, bro.
It's gonna catch you.
I compare it to New York that everyone kind of lives in an apartment.
Yeah, yeah.
At least
yeah.
most of the people I know live in an apartment or something like that. If they don't live in an apartment, it's some like accommodation like type area where there's multiple people.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily the case in Uganda. Like people mostly live in houses
Hmm.
and very sparsely like organized.
Yeah. Can I say this also? Uganda, they have Uber, but at least here they have Uber Eats, which is different. And you can pay Uber Eats by PayPal, which PayPal is not existent in Uganda. It doesn't even exist.
You could pay on
What?
PayPal.
Yes.
You don't have PayPal.
You have a PayPal?
I do have a PayPal. What you mean?
Another thing too. Let me
What
just say
you
something
mean,
real
bro?
quick
I have a
also.
PayPal.
Can I give a tip to the audience?
I forgot that existed here in
So how do you
Africa.
get paid on Patreon?
Pioneer.
Oh, Pioneer.
Yeah, Pioneer.
Pioneer blocked my account, bro.
Well, let me just mention
scamming.
this.
Can I cast on this show?
Of course.
Oh,
Don't block my account. Don't block my account.
Hold on. Let me just say one thing before I forget. So, guys, when you're ordering Uber Eats, we had a hold on story time music. So, listen, I got scammed the other day, right? I ordered some KFC. Me and Satati, we're ordering some food, and we pay cash for this KFC. Guy comes to the door, he delivers the KFC. I give him the money. I even give him a tip. So the next morning, I wake up to take an Uber, and then Uber says, "Well, you need to pay this 2,000."
This is Nairobi?
Yeah, Kenya shillings for a bill you didn't pay. I mean, good luck trying to contact Uber in Africa, right? Uganda, Kenya never works.
Never, bruh.
So I had to log in with my PayPal and pay twice. So what I would say is, if you're gonna come here, if you're gonna either pay through, can you pay M-Pesa through Uber Eats?
M-Pesa, you can pay virtually. M-Pesa cards,
Yeah.
Yeah,
PayPal, whatever.
don't pay, if you can pay Uber Eats, don't pay cash, because somebody could easily say that, oh, you didn't pay, even though you paid cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't prove it.
Yeah, but what's crazy is he gave him
You
a
can't
tip,
prove it.
man.
Yeah, I gave the guy a tip, at least 200 bob
That's
tip, which is
crazy,
okay.
bro.
If I ever
You
see
have
you
his
again-
details?
No, I'm gonna kind of get it, bro. I'm gonna try if I call him back so I can.
Give me his details, bro. I know people at Uber will sort it out.
Hey,
really?
there we go,
Okay,
there we go.
okay.
Bro.
I'm the mayor of the
Yeah.
city. Talk to me.
Yeah, you're the
Tap
truth.
him in checks.
But like, let me just ask one last question though. As far as like everyday living and like the value for money, that's, shout out to Roy, our manager in the back. He wants to make the company bankrupt in Kenya. So, what is the value for money in Kenya and Uganda? And talk about also, if you can, secondarily, like going to Carrefour and Acacia here, and going to Carrefour and Westgate.
And Stanbic Kenya and Stanbic Uganda.
Man,
The
yeah,
difference
it's just
between those two.
differences, yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something. Okay, number one,
Yeah.
Uganda and Kenya. Again, like, I feel like the best balance that one could strike is living in Uganda half the year, and then you live half the year in Kenya, because value for money doesn't go to Kenya. You could get a lot of value for money on some things,
Yes.
but then on other things in Uganda, you'll get more value for money. Like, for example, here, Ubers are way cheaper. Transportation is very big here. Because people are working in CBD, they have to go da-da-da-da, they have to wake up, go to the gym, da-da-da, all Uber. Like here, you could survive your whole life cheaply using Uber and not using a boda ever. For example, Ubers here, they start at like 190 Kenya shillings, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the distance here.
Which is basically like 5,000, 6,000 Uganda shillings.
Yeah.
Uber in Uganda is at least, when I'm going the equivalent distance, at least
5,000.
twice that, at the very minimum. And then it goes exponentially higher the farther you travel. So if you're going to like, let's say from like this area to like
It's
the
not a fixed rate.
No,
Like if
bro.
I order an Uber here to a destination,
Nah,
if it
G.
tells me it's 1,000 bob, it's not gonna
Yeah.
change. It's gonna be 1,000 bob.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but the
No
guy's gonna call you
compromising.
and then try to make it like, are you sure? Can you give me more money today?
Basically, what he means is when you order an Uber in Uganda, 99% of the time, the guy will first call you to direct him where you are.
Oliwa!
It's like he hasn't seen Oliwa.
Oliwa!
Sir, Oliwa, Otugenda wa. Like he's asking like, where are you and where are we going? Like where do I come?
Do you guys
Can
have Google Maps in Uganda?
They don't use it, bro. It's there on the phone, man. It's there on the phone. It's there on the phone. The guy doesn't want
Anybody
to
in
use it.
Uganda know what I'm talking about.
And you know Uganda, like
I'm just shaking my head.
our roads are labeled, but not as well as you guys.
No.
Here, when you say Dennis Pritt, everyone knows where that is.
Yeah.
The guy is going to ask you, to direct him where your gate is, bro. From where he is. You have to direct him from... Take a left where he is.
That's another fee for directing
Who's taking who, bro? It's just that he has a car. Because you're giving him directions, you're telling him where the place is. So he just has a car and you don't have a car.
And then they'll ask you to increase the fee. Especially if it's night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but that one is sometimes understandable because of economy, it's what it is. But so you'll get more value for money with Uber here. The guy will never ask you for directions, ever.
Yeah.
He'll just come to your door. So you'll get more value for money and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Right? You have a better experience. People here, like the Ubers generally, inside they're nicer.
Yeah.
Like you could get away with like, your car from 1980 in Uganda Uber.
Whoa.
Yeah, not really, bro. On the opposite side,
Yeah.
for value for money, Uganda wins on food. The value for money on food in Uganda, there's nothing like it, bro. If you had the same 500 bob here in Kenya, you took it to Uganda, you're gonna get a huge full meal from a really nice restaurant, everything. But here, the food is pretty expensive.
Living in Nairobi is expensive. So how much is it paying for in Uganda, bro? Like,
Are there even like in Uganda?
How much is it? Thing is, we love covering Ugandan stories on the pod, but then we refer to Uganda as the land of Nyash.
No,
Nyash
I think
means-
he's asking for himself because on September he might buy one.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it would be nice.
Can someone in there?
How much is it, bro? On average.
Leslie do the prayer.
God, how much is it?
Bro, I wouldn't know, to be honest.
For real?
Okay,
No,
but
he's lying.
Okay, I swear to
We're
you.
doesn't wanna be
talking about
exposed.
value for money.
Yeah, he's
so
lying.
I'm just trying to gauge.
The oldest profession in the book. Bro, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, to be honest.
You've never paid
But
for
food, if we're talking about food.
That's
No.
food. It's just different type of food. It's meat still.
The only man who's never paid for is below 20.
I mean, not directly.
Yeah.
Well, how come you don't say anything about this, bro?
I'm
You
just
don't speak
assuming,
English?
I'm not saying it's facts.
I'm just gonna say it's a chat in the edit. You might want to cut this one out.
What am I supposed to say? Oh, yes.
You're gonna cut this out?
No, we're going to let it rock.
Yeah. Oh shit, hey, what up? So, bro, you've been there 1 year now? Uganda, how many years?
Me don't speak English.
He does a question.
So what are you doing here then if you don't speak English? Because we are all just speaking English.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
He doesn't get it.
Bro, listen.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm kind
Personally,
of dumb
man.
so down. Sometimes I'm kind of stupid, so
Personally,
I have selective hearing.
let me just tell you.
That's an episode idea, bro. For your next episode.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. My dream, like, if you were to ask me, like, where do I want to end up? I want to end up working with Disney.
Okay.
Why?
If I have this
Why?
conversation, do you see me working with Disney? Hey, I have to be a
But
good
why
boy. I
Disney,
have to
bro?
be my good behavior.
I thought you
Because
just want to work for you.
I want to work. No, don't want to work for Disney as their employee.
Okay,
But I
gotcha.
want to be on like an animated movie and stuff.
Yeah.
So, that conversation. Right?
Maybe Disney's gonna start an
branch.
like adult content programming. No,
They already started, I mean.
they just call it Disney Disney minus.
Disney After Dark.
Disney After Dark. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because, like, there are a lot of you Kenyan, like, even Equity Bank is in. Is KCB also Kenyan?
KCB is.
KCB's Kenyan, yeah.
KCB. What does people from Kenya think about Uganda as an industry? You know, because we know how like Kenya may feel about like, okay, when you say Nigeria, what do you think about Nigeria? If I say about the entertainment, business opportunities, what do you think about? You say Nigeria or South Africa? What first things come to your mind?
You're asking for a stereotype.
Yeah, I want to know, like, what do you think? Like, I'm talking about in the private sector, like,
Or
as far as,
private sector.
like
not,
the people who have influence
not
in Africa.
entertainment.
Anything.
Oh, I think he's thinking like, what first comes to your head when you?
Yeah, think about Nigeria
When I think
or
about-
South Africa.
Nigeria, I think about hectic. Then South Africa, I think about advanced.
Really?
Because everyone who's been to Lagos, bro, I've never been. Everyone who's been to Lagos, including my friends and colleagues, they're like, that city is hectic.
No.
Right from the airport
Yeah.
to the traffic. We had Psycho YP, he's a rapper from Nigeria on the podcast. He was telling us about how hectic it is to move around. Like sometimes it would take even 4 hours in traffic. I'm like, 4 hours? Even from all the videos and clips you see, Nigeria looks hectic to move around. That's why anyone who makes it out of Nigeria I salute them, bro.
But what I'm saying is this, though, Because
entertainment-wise, don't you think they are
They're
more
the kings.
advanced?
No, they're the kings, of course.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
In terms of content
I was there in
and
September.
everything.
no, if it's entertainment-wise,
Yeah.
of course, they're the...
Loved
They're
it.
winning, they're
Loved it.
winning.
Yeah.
Everything.
It was crazy. Loved it. I could definitely. But what I'm saying, so you thinking like Nigeria, South Africa, they're the kings, right? In Kenya, you guys are like in the top categories, right?
I think Kenya, I wouldn't put Kenya up there. Maybe in the East.
But the other two,
I
you
would-
think
I
that
would-
they're lit.
Because
I would put- I
In
would-
terms
Egypt
of
is
entertainment,
huge.
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
Chucks,
yeah,
you're saying you're putting Kenya
We'll
in
beep
the
that part
East
out there.
first in terms of entertainment?
Generally, yes.
No.
Because if you speak about Tanzania, you're
I
you're
think
probably just gonna
Tanzania
speak
is
about
winning.
you're gonna speak
Platinums.
about 3 people max, and that's gonna be music only. Now, if you talk about general
Yeah,
entertainment,
true.
I feel like we're still ahead, bro.
Yeah.
But in terms of music, some of the biggest stars like Diamond are definitely winning. But then
Zuchu and the rest.
is that all Tanzania has? I'm sure no. I'm sure they have a lot of other musicians.
Yeah.
So then, what does then? Because like, if you hear about Nigeria, you have a certain impression. South Africa has an impression. Not to be, ill will towards my country I'm in now, Uganda. But what's the kind of thought processes that like people from Uganda, Kenya would feel about the Ugandan market? Even though you've never been there, but what is it?
In terms of entertainment, honestly, not much. But I'd say we were growing up. I was very familiar with the market. Like Chameleon, of course, is a legend here up to date. Baby Cool is a legend here up to date. Bobby Wine is a legend here up to date. But then, in terms of if you asked me now to name even 4 Ugandan songs that came out this year, I don't
can't.
know.
Me too.
You
If
can't.
you ask me who's
Nana.
popping in Uganda, I have no idea.
Joshua
Me
Baraka.
too. Me
Joshua
too.
Baraka for sure. But
Shout out.
Joshua Baraka as
I
well
don't
is just
even
one
know who
record.
that
though.
is.
It's just one song.
No idea.
And he was here, but you see, it's just one song. So I could probably for sure say Nana, and I love the song. But in terms of an industry, I
song.
don't have an idea. I'm really great, but I really want to learn. I want to tap in.
So do you think like we're hardworking? Do you think we're like what do you think?
No, I'm sure you're hardworking, bro. I mean, your government is f***ing up, but I'm sure you're hardworking as people. I mean, look at you, you're grinding, bro. Look at, like, you guys literally came
Bro,
to
you come
Nairobi.
in September, bro. You been
You guys are hardworking for sure, bro. Like, look at you guys. You guys are here. You guys are here to work, bro. I respect that. You know what I mean? So I'm sure the people are hardworking.
Yeah.
All African people are hardworking, except the guys who live in the coastal areas.
I always keep it. That's a podcast I don't want to hear. I want to actually do that podcast before I leave because I always hear these stereotypes about
In the coastal region?
people. Every time.
Bro, let's plan it out. I'll check you. Bro, those guys wake up whenever they want to wake up. They're very calm and nice, but bro, they don't know. I mean, they're very laid back. They are
I've heard
very
some-
different from Nairobi people. So I think the difference would be
I don't think they have that. I think the reason is they don't have that much pressure to like make it in this capitalistic world. The coast is the coast. It's very chill, bro.
chill, bro.
Like there's food, there's everything. They party. There's a beautiful beach. You know?
And also maybe we have a different perspective because most of the time we just go there to chill. Like you're just going to unwind.
Their crime rates are also really low.
Is it really?
Yeah, like significantly low.
It's lower than Nairobi for sure.
For sure, bro.
Because also like you're saying, bro, the place is humid all year round.
Yeah.
So also during the day, there's really not much you can do. You can do stuff, but if you're really out grinding, it's really hot. So I'd understand why maybe they'd come out later in the day. Guys would be out up late in the night because it's chill. But then generally as a culture, they're just laid back. They don't understand why we work so hard in Nairobi. They're just like,
Ah,
a
they're
lot of them
never
would
in
tell
a
you Nairobi
hurry.
is stressful.
Yeah.
So is Nairobi more laid back than Kampala? Is Kampala more laid back than Nairobi?
So I think that they're both big cities. So hard to say that this one is way more hardworking. But Nairobi is a bigger city with a bigger population with more going on.
How many people in Kampala?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the comments, but I think it's 3.5 million people during that day and 1.5, it's different at night. The numbers are different at night. Like the people that actually live there. I think it's 1.5 at night. Correct me if I'm wrong, and these might be like 2012 census statistics. So
Yeah, who knows how many people live in Kampala?
true.
What about the banks though?
This goes back. I was on the phone with someone yesterday. We were talking about banks here and banks in Uganda. The Stanbic in Uganda via numbers would not even be top. This is what they told me. Would not even be top 10 via numbers here in Kenya in terms of like money that they deal.
Is
But
that the biggest bank in Uganda, Stanbic?
It has to be that or Standard Charter.
it might be Stanbic via numbers. I don't know. But wait, Centenary Bank. There's
Centenary,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's number one. Yeah, so Uganda bank actually, right?
Bro, did you know that Stanbic Kenya and Stanbic Uganda basically are different banks. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's just a franchise?
Bro, I don't even know how it works, man. I was trying to, because my bank is Stanbic Uganda.
Yeah.
I was trying to withdraw money from my Stanbic Uganda account the other day.
Yeah.
I put my card. I went to Stanbic Kenya. I thought, okay, Stanbic Uganda, Stanbic Kenya.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait.
I put my bank. I put my card in the thing.
Yeah.
It said, "Welcome to Visa." You're using Visa, bro. You're using Visa here. We're charging you Visa fees. No. I was like, I took it out. I asked the security chick. I was like, what do they mean?
Yeah.
I was like, no. She was like, no, this is Stanbic. I put it back in. Bro, welcome to Visa. You're going to be charged 500 shillings. Fee plus over what? Then they don't even give US dollars here.
Yeah.
Like
What do you mean they don't give US dollars?
like you can't with like if I maybe
At
my
Stanbic,
I
you
don't
can take out US dollars
Like
in
at the
ATM.
ATM?
yeah.
Yes.
That's the
you
thing
can
in
do that.
Uganda.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can do so.
Bro, so basically I had to like the conversion rate is insane. I don't know how useful this is to people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But maybe if you're Ugandan and you're coming to Kenya, it might be worth it to know that these banks in Kenya are different entities to the ones in Kenya and Uganda, bro.
Very true. You lose like 17% of your money.
Bro,
That's a lot.
At least.
Yeah.
the
That's a
exchange
lot.
rates are crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, so if you walk
Crazy.
if you walk to the counter, they wouldn't serve you because it's a different bank.
So let me-
essentially.
so let
Just
me
the
say-
same name, different bank.
Let me say this. So, if you have the US dollar account, and I hate to say this because I know the Africa Free Trade Agreement is trying to stop that, you know, so that we can have a lot more exchange between the East African community with shillings. But unfortunately, if you have a dollar account, you can still withdraw dollars, and it is much cheaper to do that
Yep.
than it is to convert Uganda shillings to
I
Kenya
hate
shillings or
that,
vice
bro.
versa.
Yep.
And when I was here, I believe when we were shooting the dating show with you, that's how I met you, right? Because she's on the. She actually won that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we didn't
So
talk.
And she's still single. Crazy.
Bro, that breaks my heart. Can we talk about this? But this thing is close to my heart.
But one thing I'll say is that Stanbic, what I feel personally is more professional in Kenya in comparisons to Uganda. I feel like it's more fast paced, get you in, get you out quicker. It still can be quicker in Uganda too, but I just feel like in Kenya it is more focused on the service aspect of it.
something, when people are watching this, like I don't want them to take away comparison from this
Yeah,
video between.
exactly.
But what I would like to say is, for the last few weeks, my experience being in Kenya here in Uganda, the only thing my mind can keep going to, and this is so heartbreaking,
Yeah.
is I think we don't fully understand what this colonialism thing did to us, bro.
Yeah.
Truly. I think human beings in general have a bad understanding of time and repercussions. Like they don't fully grasp what these things mean.
Right.
But this thing really messed us up. Now we live in a situation to where you have to have, like this one is called Uganda, this one is called Kenya.
Yeah.
They are different. You look the same, you talk the same, but they're different,
They're
bro.
different,
We're
yeah.
always fighting, we're always doing this stuff in common. I'm like, bro, we're one people. Like we should be able to move freely. I like the way now you can at least move freely between these countries in East
Yeah,
Africa.
they did
you
a
know?
really good job.
But bro, like
Way
the-
better than ECOWAS right now.
But bro,
yeah.
like guys are always
sure.
fighting on Twitter like this versus this. I'm like, bro,
But I
nah,
thought the
G.
thing is just banter though. It's not like serious.
Yeah.
It's
There are
just
guys who that
fun.
thing is serious for.
But some people take it seriously, like
damn.
literally.
And
That's
even,
sad though, because
and even if
I think the premise of it is just to have fun, right?
Yeah,
It's just
but-
comparison, normal
And-
fun. I went to Uganda. Oh,
But I would
And
think
to
that
me- and
as
to-
a foreigner, it looks like Uganda and Kenya really love each other. It's not like
Yeah, but like-
a beef at all.
but like to me,
Yeah.
even
Now
if it's,
Kenya and Tanzania seems to be more
I feel
serious.
even
like
if it's-
Kenyans-
but even if it's a beef,
we are mending
Yeah.
it now.
but even if it's not a beef, but even if it's not a beef, the
Yeah.
fact that there's a place called Uganda, and that's different from a place called Kenya,
That's crazy.
because of what some guys did.
Yeah.
That is crazy, bro.
It's crazy, bro, because they literally set up imaginary borders.
Imaginary borders.
Yeah.
For you
Bro-
guys, this is now your border. This
Yeah.
is protectorate of this. This is a region of this.
This
I'm
one
like,
big
bro.
landmass, imaginary borders, yeah.
But now
And
you
then
have.
we make the imaginary borders actual borders and build walls and gates. And
Now-
have
Then
passports
the
and
thing
stamp
is
them.
about colonialism. What makes us different is how we fought our independence. It's very different from Uganda and it's very different from Kenya. And now I feel like Kenya, based compared to Uganda, we are more westernized. Even when we go, people will think like my English is different from Uganda. Like they can see the comparison
accent?
between kinda like it's different. Like if you find like a Ugandan who like speaks like an English without really an accent, maybe they were outside Uganda in a way.
But
I don't
thought-
know, like
I
I'm
thought
assuming.
Outsiders here, we have an accent as well. Like if you're not from Kenya,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an accent. It's there. I can tell.
There's a Kenyan accent, right?
Yes.
And the Ugandan one.
Yes.
And the Nigerian one.
Yeah,
And then
it's
Tanzania.
kinda-
In general.
Tanzanians just don't speak it. Tanzanians, bro, what?
Yeah.
What beef do you
Yeah,
have
like I
with
feel
this
like
country, man?
No, I love
Kenyans
Tanzania.
are more open.
Apparently Tanzanians turn up, man.
I love
Apparently
Tanzania.
turn up
They
in the
do.
comment
They
section,
do.
bro.
I love Tanzania.
But Tanzania is actually bigger than Kenya, isn't it?
Yeah,
They have
by
more
mass.
people.
Yeah.
But nobody really.
Do they have more people?
Tanzania is super huge.
It's beautiful.
I don't know. I want to believe they do. Kindly check. But then in terms of landmass,
It's Uganda and someone told me it's Uganda and Kenya.
in terms of
combined.
population,
No,
But no, like
Tanzania
Oh, yeah,
has
bro.
like more, 10
bro,
more
you
people.
drive through Tanzania and you could literally go for hours without seeing even a single house. Bro. It's just an occupied land. I'm like, yo, this is so much land.
You been there before?
I've been there.
Okay.
I hate to go back to this, but I know the only person more passionate about this thing, division, is Wodemaya. So I don't know if you listen to this podcast, no, at least I tried to fight. No, bro,
the thing is-
bro, someone posted a video. I think you know Tayo Aina. Shout
Yeah,
out
yeah,
Tayo.
yeah,
I know.
That's my boy.
Very talented
That's
guy.
travel
Nigeria.
content.
That's my
Shout
boy.
out to him, man. Yeah.
I think was it Tayo? I think he made a Twitter post that to go to Egypt, from Nigeria, he had to go to Amsterdam, something like he had to go to another country to get a visa to come to Egypt. That's crazy.
It's crazy, bro. But the guys at the north don't consider themselves Africans. Bro.
Yeah.
They consider themselves Arabs.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
It's true, bro.
That's the thing.
Those are not
That's
our
the
people,
thing.
bro. Like, I'm sorry to say that, but
Even the guys in the south, some of them believe it's South Africa and Africa.
Yeah.
It's
Really?
true, bro. Yeah.
That's
Super
really true.
bro. Check. You can.
Man, they need
These
to
are
stop
facts,
tripping.
bro. I'm not
It's
making
the
anything
truth.
up. Honestly, bro, I'm really keen to come to Uganda. I'm not gonna lie to you.
it's
They're
fun.
gonna love it.
It's fun, bro.
And I'll
It's
make sure
really
I spend
fun.
time. I'll be there, bro.
Yeah.
And you guys have to show me all the nice spots.
I think that's something that I realize we have better than you guys. We have better food. We have better nightlife. Our nightlife is super turned to the max.
You think it's
But I
better?
was told it's
Hold
just
on
one
one
street
second.
in
But do you
Kampala.
think that
No, the town is just one street, bro. That's where all the clubs are.
No, 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 no,
multiple
no, no,
of those
no,
streets,
no.
bro.
Yeah.
But
it's-
so you mean entertainment, like
That
at
local-
nightlife is
Yeah, like
better
nightlife is
in
crazy.
Uganda?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they told
I didn't
me
know that.
You hawk
I
alcohol.
thought we
like
were
the way
the
we have
best.
hawkers here. Like I could literally buy alcohol by the roadside.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
true?
absolutely.
you can't?
Everything goes in Uganda.
Have you seen alcohol by the roadside here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
No,
roadside
wait.
in Nairobi?
No, not here. In
Yeah.
Uganda.
No, that's what I had.
Man.
Yeah, everywhere. Wait,
Uganda
that's not
is-
here.
No,
Uganda,
have you seen alcohol by the roadside?
I haven't
You have
noticed.
to go to the liquor store.
I mean, Uganda is fun as bro.
Is what?
It's. I complain about it. It's fun as.
Oh, you
Uganda
guys,
is the.
Then, bro, I'm
I
excited.
love Uganda.
you know, you guys
A lot.
You guys have a liquor section in
Yeah.
every supermarket. That I never noticed that.
It's
In
not
Uganda?
in Uganda?
No, liquor like it's there.
I could buy water and liquor
Like,
in the same aisle.
Yeah, literally like in Carrefour, Uganda.
What?
In
Like,
Carrefour,
it's
Uganda.
like flour
Yes,
on the shelves?
Yeah, it's on the shelves.
Wow.
Opposite is water.
So even a kid
Oh,
can buy
man,
it.
I love it.
I mean, you can't buy it, but
Even an underage can buy it
No.
because it's on the shelves.
because I mean, so maybe
I mean,
you wouldn't pay
technically
for
you
it.
can,
Yeah.
but maybe you shouldn't. Okay, don't.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Because yeah,
Stay in school.
Yeah, they differentiate.
Yeah.
And also liquor stores. I mean, legally they're supposed to be open from 11 till 5. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
now-
have restrictions. here.
restrictions,
Yeah.
but then yeah, I mean, we get away with it.
Yeah.
No one really follows up. Implementation
Anytime,
is-
any day. But yeah, I really like the nightlife in Uganda. Like it's super tight. Everyone's out every day of the week.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But
it was
it-
even better before Corona.
Better before
Corona,
COVID.
like-
So everyone, so the thing here, the clubs will be open every day, even Monday. But then Mondays are very slow days. Tuesdays slow. Then from Wednesday the clubs get
Yeah,
busy.
people are
But they're
turning
open
up.
every day.
So we have an event for every day.
That's
There's
crazy.
like
Yeah,
you can find
Kampala
like
is
Maniac
every
Mondays
day,
at this
bro.
place, then
Every
Tequila
day.
Tuesdays at this one,
Oh.
then you have Flex
Every
Wednesday,
day.
That is
then you have
crazy.
Nanana Thursday,
Wednesday.
every
Wednesday?
Flex.
Flex, you want to hear
I'm saying-
you're in your own head. Yeah.
I don't know about. I'm a virgin. But
Something that you guys would really appreciate in Uganda is the food. You really appreciate that. Like the food is insane. Like so many options. The taste is
I hate
crazy.
tastier than our food. We don't have good food in Nairobi, bro.
Yeah.
you know,
Like typical Kenyan food is flat.
Why?
Like in terms of taste, yeah.
And yet you guys are closer to the coast. You know all these spices travel.
Bro,
to the
so
coast.
if you go to the coast, that's where all the flavorful food. Like Swahili food is very flavorful. But I mean, the
What
rest
about
of it,
traditional meals? Because we have them.
Like ugali is
Yeah.
is plain. Like what is ugali to begin with? In
Ugali
terms of
is
taste-
ugali.
Yeah. I know,
You're
so
a
I
Kenyan
love-
and you
I
don't
love
love ugali, you're not
Okay,
a Kenyan.
so what else would you say is a Kenyan meal? Githeri.
Githeri, mokimo, you know,
But those are not tasty foods, bro.
chapati.
Like they're not flavorful. They're plain.
You haven't met good cooks because just food are everything.
But then it's
Twice.
because you make it the way you want to make it with the
Yes.
spices, but traditionally, like all the spices are in the coast. Do
Coming
you guys
from,
have
coming
spices?
from where I come from, you
Where
know
do you
me,
come
I'm
from?
from Western Kakamega. We cook
Hey.
good food, yeah, and
Hey.
we acknowledge ugali. So if you're a Kenyan and you don't love ugali, you are not a Kenyan. You're half Kenyan.
So,
Yes.
No, I love ugali. What you mean? I didn't say I don't like ugali. I just said it's plain.
Yeah,
But also, all my
even
life-
masculinity
but now
is
I
judged
cook
on
it
how you
differently.
eat.
Now
Yes.
I make it, when I make it myself, I make it differently. So I'll add,
Good
I'll
or
add
bad?
butter. So it tastes better. But it's just flour and water. Literally, that's ugali. It's so plain, bro. It's incredibly plain. It's
But it
annoyingly
depends with
plain.
how you cook
You must
it. You
eat
know
with some
that.
sauce.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
You
you're
know,
not
right?
just getting
Can you-
it, bro.
like, what is ugali? You know what I mean? You've tried it, right?
We call it posho.
It's plain, bro.
In Uganda, it's called
Not
posho.
Is it popular in
plain.
Uganda?
Big, bro.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Question. What is this king thing in Uganda? Is this still a thing?
Oh, you don't have kingdoms.
Nabanga mumia.
They
What's
don't have
that?
kingdoms.
Yes.
Uganda.
Yeah, they don't have like
No, like
proper
Uganda.
like a king. There's a king.
No, we don't have.
Yeah,
the
that's the
king-
biggest one.
Is the king powerful?
Man, they can you right there in the middle of the street.
Is the king powerful?
Yeah,
Is
like
it true?
You can.
Is the king powerful?
Very, 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 very.
So what's Museveni?
Okay, so let me say in
So what's the difference
Is he
between
powerful?
let me say in the best way
What are you
possible.
talking about?
I thought
The
it's
king,
just...
Bro, just go there and say something bad about him in the
Yeah.
streets.
People
People
like-
like, bro.
Be careful, you're
I'm
going
not-
there
I'm not
next,
Raymond,
next
bro. I
month.
say
Bro,
Be
they get
careful.
tear-
I think Chucks is
Bro.
gonna be.
No, this guy's
Whenever
like,
it's the Buganda, the King's Run or the King's every year he does
Yeah.
it. Bro, oh my God, you cannot even go outside. It's
Wow.
hundreds of thousands of people there, bro.
So people have like they're super like emotionally attached to
Man.
their kings.
Yeah.
Oh, there's multiple kings.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
According to
he's the biggest one in
village
East Africa.
or-
Okay,
Okay.
so
He's
you
the
see the way
biggest
you guys
kingdom
are like,
probably
you see
in
the way you
Africa.
guys have like,
Yeah.
okay, there could be like Luya, then
Yeah,
like
different
Kikuyu.
tribes.
All those have a king.
Oh,
Okay, not all, but a number of them have kings.
Okay,
so
so-
where I'm from, there's a king. Both
what's-
my mom and my dad's tribes, they have kings, different ones.
So what's the role of the king
Yeah.
in modern
Very
society?
ceremonial.
So
He
what do they
leads
do?
the
Are
people.
those kind of kings
Where?
who
Leads
are...
them where?
Hey man, we don't
This
talk about
sounds like
that.
Moses.
Buganda,
Wait, wait.
you have an enemy now.
Canaan.
We're not gonna talk about this since you're
No, I
coming
love Uganda,
in
bro.
September.
No,
Yeah,
but if there's
I
people-
want to know how it's like,
If there's
like
people you don't
being
turn up
brought
on
up
them.
in Uganda as a teenager or as a youth. Like, are there like restrictions? Because I feel like you guys are more traditional, more than us. I mean, us we're traditional too, but not as much as Ugandans are. Like, how would you describe being brought up as a youth?
I think it's very similar to, yeah, there's no difference. Like,
In a common
you're gonna
home.
have some tough parents, you're gonna have tough uncles and aunties, you have to go to school, you have to be super well behaved in Uganda. That's just something you're gonna find that these Ugandan guys, they greet people, bro. You have to greet people. You have to, like, I don't know if you guys have had this thing, but
Yeah.
like, if you're a girl,
You have to
You
kneel
enter a
down. Yeah, I saw
you
it.
have to like curtsy or like you have to like lower your back, and then if you're a guy, you have to lower your back like this. And then you kind of like pat
Oh,
your back. That's a sign
God.
of respect.
Okay.
That's a big deal, and you can't be disrespectful, bro.
You do that?
cannot.
You do that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hey,
So
they
I'm gonna
expect
have to
you.
learn that, bro. So I have to keep doing this in
Yeah,
Uganda.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
like,
feel like they're
the-
so
yeah.
traditional. And
I'm
like
gonna have to
us.
start working out my shoulder.
Give me
'cause
the kabaka. I heard like you cannot take your eyes off him. Like you have to back up. Like
That's
the
the
whole
king of
time.
Uganda.
Really?
Yeah, you can't like no.
And in the past, like, bro, people are
you can't turn your
super-
back to him. You have to back up.
People are very, very attached to their kingdoms. You can't say anything. You could talk about you could talk about politics. This thing is not political. It's very emotional. like
Instant-
people are being
instant-
raised that this is the guy. So you have to show a lot of respect. You have to like do all this. You have to do all. But they're good people. Like,
And the
they're not
kingdom is
disturbing anyone.
huge, man. It's huge. Like the central is huge. It's like 30% of Uganda or 40%
That's
of Uganda.
the kingdom of Buganda.
It's huge.
But
man.
it really
It's
helps
like
for
200 kilometers long.
it really helps for unity because people feel like they belong somewhere, you know, like it gives people and you know, like Africa, life is a bit hard.
Yeah.
So it really helps, man. People, they're very positive. They do positive things. Like there's Kabaka's run. They do all
Yeah.
this like they
Kabaka's
partner with,
radio.
like, for health.
the
Like
queen.
people run.
They have the
literally,
queen
like
where
there's a
they
marathon in the Kabaka's name on his birthday. That's for health. That's like, you know, like
the
they're
queen
very,
has a school for girls and things teaching about like femininity.
it's actually really positive, man.
Oh,
Like
that's fine.
there's
Big active.
no downsides to having these kingdoms.
That's fair.
Shout out every kingdom, Uganda, shout out
Is
Uganda.
this like content
Bunyoro.
that someone would like? For instance, is this content you would create? Like, speak to the king? Are they open? Like, would
to
you
meet people.
No, you can't really reach them.
You can't.
I met his
They're
brother before
inaccessible.
once.
You?
The brother.
I met his brother before.
Cool, dude.
They're very.
Oh yeah.
Do they wear the traditional outfits and whatnot?
I think like during the
Regalia?
is it like ceremonies?
It's very ceremonial.
Oh,
like
only
you'll
during
mostly
the
see them in
ceremonies.
suits. But you see, like they can't be doing all this stuff on TikTok, like what you just asked, because it's very ceremonial. You have to respect And they also expect their guy to be like in a certain way to handle themselves this. When they see their people, like let's say some people see their king doing this and that, they're like, no, this is not how our king should be.
Okay,
like even even your kids.
Yeah.
Like they like be going to their social media and they're like, no, this is not how this should dress.
So you
And,
have
like,
actual princes.
Yeah,
Like a
there's
prince and
princes.
princess and whatnot. Damn, are they balling?
yes.
Because all the time I say
balling.
prince, they're balling.
Yeah.
So they're on a government payroll.
I don't know if, but I know that I think no. I think government does give them. I
How
think
much time we got left in the episode?
what?
Asked too many questions.
I think they
Okay,
have.
that's f***ed up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think they have government aid. So like government gives them like guards and I think
So me, I'm curious about
Yeah,
the
like-
gender roles in Uganda. Are they like followed? Like, the roles of a woman, the roles of a man, are they like tight with that? Because in Kenya, it's not. There are certain communities that believe like, a woman is supposed to do this and a man is supposed to do this. But mostly you find Kenyans being like, that. We don't do that no more. Like it's a lot. Sorry, it's a lot of feminism that's being introduced and stuff like that. Are there
a good
like
topic.
more of that in Uganda, like
Okay.
gender roles of a woman?
let me answer this question with the other one you asked as well, like being brought up in Uganda. I think like the fact that we're here right now, you have to realize that we're not the like majority. Majority of Kenyans are not here in Nairobi.
True.
Only let's say at best only 6-10 million people here in Nairobi. Majority of them are like living in rural areas.
Yeah, true.
So that what you think, I think majority people always, at least here for the foreseeable future, people always have those stereotypes and
the
like
big
we've been
cities.
raised.
So it's the
to
same way
believe
with
like this.
Uganda.
Yeah, same way. Even here in Kenya.
Yeah.
Most of you guys are. I wouldn't say all of you guys are liberal. Most of the guys are living in rural areas. I would like to believe. If there are 55 million Kenyans, like 40 of them are living in like rural Kenya. So they've been brought up to believe that this is this, this is this, this is. You know what I mean? I think we're not yet at the point where people have completely abandoned culture and like abandoned.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's 50-50.
not 50-50. I think it's mostly people very conservative. Even here, even in Tanzania, even in Cape Town. Most people are living in rural areas. And people like living here in Nairobi, you tend to forget that. Like you think that everyone's like you. No.
Yeah.
No. Like most people don't think like you.
Guys, I hate to stop the party, but
Yeah, we guys could talk forever. Don't mind. Raymond and I could talk forever.
man, okay, we gotta go. We got one more episode to shoot. So guys, first episode in Kenya. Thank you so much. Subscribe, hit the bell. Check out
Mic Check
Podcast.
Podcast.
We'll put the first comment pinned to the top. And this guy, it doesn't really matter.
Can I also shout out some people?
Yeah, who?
No, shout out Uganda, love you guys. Shout out Kenya, okay, for embracing me. And shout out every kingdom in Uganda. We love all you guys. And yes.
Shout out to everyone who I know.
Hey,
What's your podcast?
I don't have to be specific. Yes. If I start, I'll end up finishing tomorrow. So shout out to everyone I know. I love you guys.
shout out my high school teacher.